Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another session by yours truly. So this is going to be our second installment on the three-part video series talking about gerunds and infinitives. So we already talked about gerunds in our last video. If you haven't already seen it, make sure that you go back and you watch that one first. And now we can go ahead and continue in this video with infinitives. In case somebody is wondering, is the teacher wearing the same shirt or the same hoodie in this case? Yes, I am. I'm recording the videos back to back, so yeah, I do have more wardrobe, but it's the same. It's the same day. All right. Don't judge. Don't judge. All right. So with that out of the way, I think we can get started. If you haven't already gotten a snack, make sure you get something, at least a glass of water. Stay hydrated so you can absorb all the knowledge. Okay. So here we go. Like we did with gerunds, we first have to start with what are they? What are infinitives? And here we go. An infinitive is basically a verb form that acts as other parts of speech. Okay, that's basically what they are. How do we form them? Well, basically we add to and the base form of a verb. We have two examples here, to buy and to work. Yeah. Infinitives are often used when actions are unreal, abstract, or future. In the example that we have here, we have he wants this one. Okay. So this is basically what infinitives are. You can kind of relate them to gerunds in the same way that they are verbs, but they do not act as verbs anymore. Gerunds act as nouns, and it says that infinitives act as parts of speech. So more than nouns, but we're going to cover that a little bit down the line. Okay. Firstly, we have to see how we can apply them. So here are the infinitive examples. The first one says that we can use infinitives as an object following the verb. So we see right there, Jim always forgets to eat. We have our verb right there, and to eat is what Jim always forgets. So this is the object of the sentence. We can also use them as the subject at the beginning of a sentence. Yeah. The same way we can use gerunds as objects and subjects, we can also use infinitives as objects and subjects. The example that we have here says, to travel around the world requires a lot of time and money. So I don't know if that kind of reminds you of a very, very famous writer. But yeah, it kind of sounds a little bit Shakespearean to me. If you don't remember, just remember the very famous phrase, to be or not to be. That is the question. And yeah, we can kind of get those vibes right here. But we're going to cover a little bit more on that basically when we see the differences between gerunds and infinitives, okay? Right now, what else can we use infinitives as? Well, we can use them as an adverb to modify the verb. And here we have our example. You promised to buy me a diamond ring. What did you promise? To buy me a diamond ring. So it's kind of describing the type of promise that it was. And number 4 says an adjective modifying a noun. Tara has the ability to succeed. What type of ability does Tara have? Well, the ability to succeed. As you can see, it's describing what type of ability she has. So it's working as an adjective to describe or modify the noun. Number 5. Number 5 says that some verbs are directly followed by an infinitive. So in the same case that we can have some verbs that can only be followed by gerunds, we also have some verbs that are only followed by infinitives. Do you want to call your family now? So there we see the infinitive right there. Just say the following thing. Do you want calling your family now? Does that make sense? Do you want calling your family now? No, that does not make sense for us. If you guys have a trained ear, you're immediately going to say that sounds incorrect. So we can only use an infinitive right after the verb once. Okay? Number 6 says that some verbs are directly followed by a noun or pronoun and then by the infinitive. So let's analyze. It's giving us a structure, right? So it says that we have a verb and then either a noun or a pronoun. And we do. I convinced Catherine to become vegetarian. So we have Catherine, this is our noun, and then followed by the infinitive. And in the second one, it says, he advised me to sell all my shares of stock. We have me, which is a pronoun, and then we have the infinitive right next to it. So this is another structure that we can also follow. Number 7 says that some verbs can be followed either by an infinitive or a gerund without causing a change in the meaning. This is the same one that we explained with gerunds. So if we have the first question, will you continue working after you give birth? This is one sentence, right? Analyze it. Now let's read the second one. Will you continue to work after you give birth? Analyze that one. Do they mean the same thing? If your answer is yes, then you're 100% correct. They basically have the same meaning. And you guys can see that we're using gerund on top and an infinitive on the bottom. So in this case, we can use either one. They are both correct and they both have the same meaning. So the meaning is not altered. However, like number 8 says, and like we already talked about in the gerund video, sometimes we can use either a gerund or an infinitive. However, the meaning will change. And we have 2 examples here. The first one says, he stopped drinking coffee. I think this and the second one are completely opposite, because let's read the other one. He stopped to drink coffee. All right, so these are 2 completely different things. In the first one, he's not drinking coffee at all. He quit the stuff. He was addicted. He said, no, I'm gonna cut this out of my life. So he stopped drinking coffee. And then the second one, it is completely the opposite. This person was doing something. He was walking to work. He was driving to his house, wherever he was going or whatever he was doing. He stopped it. He stopped his progress and he went to drink coffee. So in one case, the person is no longer drinking coffee, and the other one, he actually stopped what he was doing to drink coffee. So we can see big differences there. So that is going to be it for this video too. Hopefully it's not that long, and I will see you in the next installment, the third and final one, where we see both of them being compared and we can analyze a little bit more about the differences. I'm going to ask you guys to do the same thing that we did with the other ones. Make sure that you have your mind map, concept map, or your notes extremely clean so you guys can start thinking and finding out the differences between both of them. Analyze how we use each one and try and find out what the differences are on your own. All right. If you have any questions, I will make sure that I answer them in the classroom, but you have to ask. All right. But see you guys. Take care. Have a wonderful day. And hopefully you learned a lot from this session. Take care.